Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So we got some price action on the Bitcoin chart last night. Ali Charts here pointing this out. Bitcoin appears to be breaking out of a bull flag on the 4-hour chart. If Bitcoin holds above $70,000, we could see a surge of nearly 10%. And guys, that would bring us to a new all-time high of about $77,000. So he's posted this chart here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the Bitcoin chart here on the daily. You guys can see over the last day, we did see a significant move to the upside for Bitcoin, and it happened pretty much since yesterday afternoon, since about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when Bitcoin did dip down back to this level here in and around $68,400. And now, guys, the overnight hours for Bitcoin seemed very, very fruitful, so we got China to thank for that. And the eastern region of the planet, $70,600 per BTC right now. It did go as high as about $70,900, but now we're seeing a retracement back down to $70,600 per coin. And as per Ali Charts, he does say here, 70,000 does need to hold, and he was looking at this on the 4-hour chart here. So now we've got within the last 4 hours, this would be this candlestick here, we have been holding in and around 70,600 per coin. So a 10% move to the upside, this would bring us to a new all-time high, $77,000. Just looking at this in a little more detail, you guys can see that neckline, that trend line here. Bitcoin has significantly breached above that now, and even the lows that we're forming are higher lows. So now what we're looking at is to get above this level up here. That's going to be that one last area that we have to get above before setting a new all-time high on the chart. Even Larry Fink was very surprised. Watcher Guru posting this. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says its spot Bitcoin ETF is the fastest growing ETF in history. And so what does that mean? Well, he's bullish on Bitcoin long term.
I'm very bullish on the long-term viability of Bitcoin.
I was going to say, did that surprise you?
That surprised me how much that's gone up. I mean, look, we're creating now a market that has more liquidity, more transparency, and I'm pleasantly surprised, and I would never have predicted it before we filed it, that we were going to see this type of retail demand.
So you thought you'd do good, but not this good.
I thought, yes.
Well, IBIT is your ETF over at iShares.
Yes.
It's about to overtake Grayscale, which was in the business certainly a lot longer. You look at the gains since January 11th when it first came about.
Yes.
Have you ever seen this much inflow this quickly into
IBIT is the fastest growing ETF in the history of ETFs.
As he says with a confident smile there, and you guys heard it, iShares is really gaining popularity, even over Grayscale, which was the former leader in the Bitcoin spot traded products over there in traditional finance. So Larry Fink is unsurprisingly very happy about that. We've got Extreme Greed guys still in the space at 81. That has slid down a little bit from yesterday. I think yesterday was at 83 or 85. We've got market cap up a little bit, 2.22%, not by much. Market cap is now at 2.65 trillion. 24-hour volume is up as well, 13.5%. So we're seeing a lot more trading activity now in the space. And Bitcoin dominance still holding on to 52.2%. So the market is heating up a little bit. Bitcoin again taking that lead, 0.99%. Ethereum's up by 0.26. We've got other coins like BNB coin up 1.49. Solana's down a little bit, 0.04%. XRP is up by just under 0.7% there. Dogecoin, guys, that is up quite a bit, 17.64%. And so, you know, these altcoins, some of them are starting to take on a life of their own, like Bitcoin Cash, even up 15.33%. So, but you guys can see too, some of these altcoins are down. So a lot of them have now slid back in the red. And so this is how the cryptocurrency market goes. For those all hating on XRP, guys, why do you not listen? I know some of you guys are listening, but some of you guys aren't listening. It pumps last and fast. Why are you getting so upset? XRP right now, as of the time of this recording, we're seeing it trading in and around 62 cents, just over 62 cents. So it did see a move up alongside Bitcoin. Not so much over the afternoon hours, more so over the evening hours and wee hours of the morning this morning on March the 28th, 2024. Stock Money Lizards is saying, you don't have to be a genius to understand this TA and what is happening here. Let's just take a look at some recent chart patterns, okay? From January 2024, the post-ETF drop. You guys can see this here. And remember, charting patterns are basically just psychology printed on a page. This is how traders behave during these types of events, okay? You guys can see that. I can see very, very clearly that inverted head and shoulders pattern. The move to the upside right before we started printing new all-time highs. And guys, now in March 2024, this is the post all-time high drop here. You guys can see that pattern there. Boom, boom, boom. And now we're up here. Well, what is supposed to happen next? I mean, the pattern is pretty much the exact same thing. So it's all about supply and demand, as Stock Money Lizards here says. Willie Woo also saying, and I quote, "The Bitcoin top is in." He wants to correct this. Nope. Odds are that we have another solid leg to the upside, maybe even 2 legs up if TradeFi gets demented FOMO like retail did in 2017. So we are up here, guys. And he's just posting this with an indicator, the BMO indicator. We are only at the 0.97 here. And at the all-time high of the last bull run, we were up here, the second level here from the top. And even in the last bull run, we made it here to the top. Back in 2013, we were surpassing that second level, the 1.8, getting up very close to the 2.4 up here. Not quite hitting that, though. So there is still a lot of work to be done. However, we are working to get there. Analysts are also coming out suggesting that XRP is going to surge to $13. Now, this one courtesy of DJ Peter Vass. He was looking at Tony the Bull Severino's analysis here, while speaking on XRP's current market position in his recent analysis. So Severino leveraged a monthly chart to illustrate a complex structure of multiple Elliott wave patterns followed by the crypto asset since 2013. While these patterns have all dictated XRP's price at various periods, one stands out as relevant for the current price action. Now, many of us are wondering now, myself included, how high is this thing going to go? Okay, where can we realistically see XRP go in this next bull run? And I'm going to preface this by saying, guys, I wish I had cashed out of some of my XRP in the last bull run. I mean, you know, to even cash out at $2 and buy back in when it was low, around 30 cents, 35 cents, whatever it was, that would have been a better opportunity than hodling through the bear market. And if you guys are looking for a different strategy, if you guys are looking to nail the top, well, I have a different plan in mind. You can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. It is only $5 a month. I've kept it relatively affordable because I know my plan is to do it differently this time. And if you guys want to follow along just to see my trading journey, by the way, this is not financial advice. I'm just showing you guys what I'm going to be doing. So far, I've demonstrated right there, pushing the buy button for my Patreon subscribers on some of these altcoins. And we're going to do the same with the sell button, pushing the sell button once we get to the top. So again, only $5 a month. I wanted to keep it relatively affordable because, guys, we want to all be on the right side of the trade. And so I'm going to be doing the same with XRP. I'm going to be letting my Patreon subscribers know when I'm going to be selling my XRP and at what price. So Tony here is using Elliott wave theory and basically looking at this bullish triangular wedge pattern here, and then using Elliott wave theory to assume where we're going to be going next. 1,500% to the upside, which would bring XRP price all the way up to $13. Well, I mean, even if you just plot a traditional Fibonacci here on the chart, a $13 XRP, and I mean, you know, if we are to assume that we did not, or I mean, we don't have to assume this, we did not make a new all-time high in 2021. So if we were to assume that the top of the market was way back in 2018, this ultimately brings us to, oops, no, sorry, I have this on the daily still. Let me zoom that out. Again, get rid of that and throw a Fibonacci on the all-time high over there. So, I mean, just, you know, plotting this, we are to assume XRP did get back up to 0.5 back in 2021, did not breach all-time high. But the top of the fib, guys, that's already at $13 per coin. So that's a pretty standard, or at least was a pretty standard estimation in the last bull run. Like I said, for my Patreon subscribers, I'm going to be doing this a little differently. I'm going to be looking at different metrics this time around because I'm not going to be caught without any profit in this bull run. Part of this is going to have to do with the lawsuit as well, guys, and regulations, regulatory clarity. Cowboy Crypto, who is, by the way, back on Twitter, it seems like he's on, he's off, he's on, he's off. Ripple caught a very, very lucky break recently. A second certain court of appeals ruled that at the end of last year, that in order for there to be disgorgement, there had to have been victims in fraud. Meta lawman here, James Murphy, he explains this on the Scott Melker podcast. Listen to this.
The bigger argument here, in my view, is Ripple caught a very, very lucky break recently. The Second Circuit Court of Appeals ruled at the end of last year that in order for there to be disgorgement, there have to be victims of the fraud, victims of the securities law violation. There has to be something called pecuniary harm, and that means losses, actual losses. So when you read the SEC's filing on their damages theory, they have a heading saying, hey, no problem, there's pecuniary harm here, but they don't actually identify a single purchaser of XRP who lost money. What they say is some purchasers, and remember, we're talking about sophisticated institutional buyers, hedge funds, VCs, whales buying XRP, and they bought at discounts and then presumably sold, not the next day, but periodically. And so the SEC says some of the buyers got a lower discount than others, and therefore they were pecuniarily harmed, which does violence to that term. There have to be actual losses, and they do not identify a single quote unquote victim institution that lost money in their deal because they bought all of this XRP at some significant discounts. Yeah, and just to tie a bow on it, this concept of disgorgement, while it is a party who's done something wrong, issued an unregistered security, is supposed to give back their net profit from doing that, that money is supposed to go to victims, not to the Treasury. And so if there are no victims, the entire rationale for the disgorgement goes away.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. There's around another 45 seconds left of this clip, but I think you guys get it. We talked about this when that verdict came out. The SEC cannot take the money, cannot take these kinds of sums of money if there were no victims. So the damages in question, that is going to be debatable, I guess, continuing the ongoing court saga. Luckily for us, XRP is a utility token, and we're seeing bold moves, guys, from builders in the space. XRP Healthcare is moving forward as one entity for an African M&A venture. In a bold move to address the challenges of the highly fragmented African healthcare sector, XRP Healthcare is excited to announce the incorporation of XRP Healthcare Africa in another country, guys. This time they're setting up shop in Uganda. This strategic decision marks a significant step towards consolidating healthcare services and streamlining operations across the continent, fostering a more unified and efficient healthcare landscape. I believe these guys started in Nigeria, and now they're moving across the continent, obviously, and it sounds as though they're being quite successful at doing so. They recognize a critical need for an integrated healthcare system in Africa, and so now Uganda, I guess, is their next stop, a fully autonomous entity with a compliant legal structure. So they're operating in Africa and growing. This development is a testament to XRP Healthcare's commitment to creating a sustainable and independent operational framework in Uganda and Africa. And guys, here's a quote. Our vision for XRP Healthcare Africa is to create a robust and unified healthcare entity that can efficiently address the needs of the African population. This was stated by their CEO and co-founder. By consolidating our mergers and acquisitions, local operations under XRP Healthcare Africa, we are eliminating dependencies on third-party entities such as the Bernrati Investment Group, which will no longer be a part of our plans moving forward, but rather we have opted for a fully owned entity such as XRP Healthcare Africa, ensuring a streamlined and cohesive approach towards achieving our M&A goals here in Uganda. Boom goes the dynamite. More development there on the XRP ledger. And in the healthcare sector too, I'm happy to see these fresh new industries now adopting blockchain and DLT technology, in this case running on the XRP ledger. So thought that was some interesting news. Wanted to also bring this up, guys, from Ripple partner Finastra. Okay, Epic Rivers is now integrating with Finastra's Laser Pro to accelerate their loan closing process. So these guys, Epic Rivers, they're a lender as a service platform, and they're aiming to provide a premium customer experience to every community bank and credit union in the country. And today they did announce the integration with Ripple partner Finastra and their Laser Pro loan documentation system. The partnership significantly streamlines the loan closing documentation process and supports customer, commercial, and real estate loan types. Here's a quote, guys. Today, financial institutions face an increasingly competitive landscape with consumers looking for solutions that can deliver agility, innovation, and convenience. Well, with Finastra's Laser Pro, that was designed with a scalability in mind and regulatory assurance. And so that means their customers need to enhance performance while ensuring compliance across their lending lifecycle. This integration with Epic Rivers, though, positions our lenders to remain competitive as we strive to provide technology that redefines the traditional labor-intensive lending process and offers a superior borrowing experience as well. And so, if you run this on the blockchain, on DLT technology, it just makes the process a whole heck of a lot easier. And, when it comes to finance, lending, exchange rates, those are pretty simple applications, I guess, where, DLT technology can thrive. Think about the real estate game. Think about, taking an assessment of a property. I just talked about this yesterday. An assessment of a property, okay? Looking at how much your property is worth, how much can you borrow against your property? Well, there are blockchain applications that can assess that and, through smart contracts or hooks. For example, a homeowner can type in all that data and retrieve information that they can send directly to the bank of how much their house is worth and how much they should be allowed to borrow against it. And guys, boom, this is all happening in real time in the blink of an eye. So this is how industry is is changing and changing for the better. So it's great to see, Ripple partners like Finastra, again, they're a biggie, continuing to, partner up with these other companies, in this case, Epic River, to integrate, these new applications that used to take, X amount of man hours with X amount of staff, and putting it on the blockchain. So some great news there coming from Ripple partner Finastra. And VeChain, guys, also on the move with another partnership, this one coming from Eisenreich here. Empoli FC and WOV collaborate. They're tokenizing jerseys on VeChain to enhance fan engagement. So Empoli FC, an esteemed name in Italian football, that is soccer, by the way, for those in America, with a rich history tracing back to 1920, has now joined forces with WOV Labs in an innovative collaboration aiming at redefining the fan experience, embracing tokenization technology as a trailblazer in the realm of Web3 within the sports industry. The club endeavors to spearhead sports tech advancements in the Italian market. So, not a large application here for the VeChain blockchain, but another indication that VeChain is branching out, not just sitting on their laurels, saying, okay, we do supply chain management and that's all we do. They are continuing to innovate and continuing to partner up with these out-of-the-box partners, I think. Sports, although we have seen VeChain delve into sports a little bit in the past. I think we have seen them partner up with a sports car racing company too, from my recollection. Anyway, now they're looking to get into tokenizing fans, rewarding fans wearing player jerseys, enriching the match day experience, and strengthening the bond with the club. Additionally, tokenization opens up avenues for diverse initiatives, including limited edition jersey replicas. So in this case, NFTs. I think I saw that up here somewhere in this article. NFTs. So, really kind of down here, NFT platform for creating, selling, and transferring digital assets. So, really kind of trying to engage the fan experience here, in this case with Empoli FC. So that's also some great news coming from the VeChain camp. And VeChain, guys, I gotta say, I've been very, very happy with this coin. Part of my legacy portfolio, but also part of my $10,000 plus portfolio over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. It has gone down a little bit. Right now, we're seeing a VeChain trading at around 4.5 cents. It was up 243% when Bitcoin did see that new high. But like the rest of the market, it has now corrected. So these retracements are going to occur. Whether we like them or not, it's just part of the market cycle. Guys, also happen to see this with Ripple partner Kotak Mahindra Bank. They are also opening more partnerships on co-branded credit cards. This is coming from the senior executive there, Frederick D'Souza, business head of credit cards at Kotak Mahindra Bank. He did say this a couple of days ago. It's very clear that the co-branded partnerships we have with the co-brand partners of banks, we have no problems on this front. For us, it is a clear equal partnership with all of our co-branded partners. We are always in conversation with more partners. We are also interested in customer opportunities where payment flows are large. Currently, the bank has 5 co-branded credit cards with Indigo Airlines, PVR, Indian Oil Corporation, Mintra, and Metro Cash and Carry. So, expanding there with payment providers makes sense for a bank. And considering they're a Ripple partner, maybe they're going to be integrating this on the XRP ledger. They also have some celebrities involved, including Ed Sheeran, the Backstreet Boys, Westlife, Trevor Noah, etc. So, just thought I'd bring that news to you guys as well with regards to Ripple partner Kotak Mahindra. The partnerships are important because this is where we're going to see the utility, guys. This is where we're going to see XRP price thrive in this bull cycle. Hopefully, it's a two-pronged factor. There is the real-world utility, which we're hoping goes along with the spec market, which I guess is the first prong spec market, second prong real-world utility. And because Ripple is gaining so much traction, because it does now have the clarity, speculation is on the rise regarding price and perhaps some alternative derivative products that are going to be coming out, like XRP ETFs. This one coming from DJ Peter Vass here on Twitter. So apparently Chad Steingraber, he did come out. He's a prominent figure within the XRP community, and he recently argued the potential for a 100x premium on an XRP ETF. Now, hold on. Let me explain this to you guys, okay? Notably, the XRP community has called for efforts from asset managers, especially BlackRock, in launching an XRP ETF. So Larry Fink doesn't want to talk about it. I don't know if you guys saw that clip, but he was asked about an XRP ETF by Charles Gasparino, and he said, I can't really talk about blah, blah, blah. They anticipate, though, positive impacts on the asset market's value following the launch of such an investment product, but much optimism is occurring. Chad Steingraber speculated on the outlook of the price at which the XRP ETF shares could sell. And so here is what Chad Steingraber said. Okay, the actual underlying asset price does not have to skyrocket. Okay, think about this for a second, guys. XRP price doesn't actually have to go that high. The fund can trade at massive premiums because with people buying up the fund, basically with more demand going into these XRP related products, the derivative products, the ETFs, guys, we would see the same thing that we're seeing with Bitcoin. Let's say XRP breaks all-time high at $5. Well, its ETF fund could literally trade at 100x premium if the institutional demand kicks in. So, at the top of the video, we talked a little bit about Larry Fink realizing, wow, I thought it would be good, but I didn't know it would be this good. Well, guys, that is one ETF. That is one Bitcoin ETF. Now think of if XRP sees similar demand to Bitcoin, and think it is the only cryptocurrency in the United States, along with Bitcoin, that has that regulatory clarity officially from the courts. So he's saying, yes, that's right, a $500 XRP institutional premium could be in the cards. And he's bringing this up here, okay? An ETF's market price is the most important price for investors, the one at which they buy and sell shares in the secondary market. Since market prices are ruled by supply and demand, an ETF's market price can diverge from its NAV. And the NAV, an NAV or a net asset value credit facility, is one that looks to either the underlying investment for a fund or other investment vehicle and or cash flows. So this is just giving you guys a definition if you don't know what that is. Distributions or other amounts received on account of those investments as the main collateral and or basis for the credit facility. And if that does diverge, guys, if there's heavy demand from buyers, the price of an ETF can increase above its NAV, a premium. Conversely, if there's heavy sell side pressure, the price can dip below the NAV, a discount, which means, for example, that the XRP price could be trading at a premium. Remember, these guys do have to purchase actual assets to back up these ETFs. And so one ETF is great, but think about it for a second. If BlackRock does it, all the other companies are going to follow suit. They don't want to be left behind not being able to offer an XRP ETF, right? So it's the snowball theory. Yes, again, a snowball theory that would in fact get XRP on the rise if when we do see an ETF. Larry Fink said, well, mum's the word. He cannot talk about it, at least not yet, but it could happen, guys, in the near future. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.